afternoon and welcome to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner here with Eric, Chilton, and Taheshah Moise. They are both working from home this afternoon as we continue to practice our social distancing. Remember, this is an interactive newscast. Chat with us on Facebook and our YouTube live streams, and we'll chat back.
All right, let's get right to it with the check of the forecast because we have a soggy forecast coming up over the next couple of days. We start out with a look, kind of a snapshot of tonight, the rest of the night, all day tomorrow, and it's on again, off again showers, which, by the way, could be heavy at times, and we could see isolated flooding. There's still some flash flood advisories in effect. When you look at the winds, it's going to be breezy, cold, breezy, and rainy over the next day or so. So winds 10 to 15, gusting to 25. You look at the radar and cloud cover composite picture here, and you can see heavier showers are in the western Piedmont for now, but that will change. We have much more of this that moves across the area. In fact, when you look at the rainfall forecast, this is just one model's look at that, but we've already seen 2 inches today. This is looking from now through Thursday night at 11 p.m. and that could add maybe another 2 to 4 inches of that. So rainfall totals with this system before it's all finished with us could be upwards of close to 6 inches of rain. We do expect flooding to be an issue. Obviously, we'll pay attention to that over the next few days as that low pressure system just lingers over the East Coast. We get better by the weekend, though, but we'll talk about that coming up.
Governor Roy Cooper said we will find out if North Carolina is ready to move into phase 2 of reopening sometime this week. But first, we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on North Carolina reopening into phase 2? Your options here to vote. It should start on Friday, or we need to wait.
Yeah, you can head over to our website. That's WFMY.com/vote now, or you can head over to the free WFMY News 2 app to cast your vote. Now, when North Carolina does enter phase 2, the stay-at-home order will be lifted, but high-risk groups are still encouraged to stay at home. Restaurants, bars, and other businesses can reopen, but at a reduced capacity. Entertainment venues like movie theaters can also reopen at a reduced capacity, and churches can hold indoor services again. Now, on Friday, a judge granted an emergency order allowing churches to worship indoor for 14 days, but in phase 2, more people can gather in groups. Public playgrounds can open, nursing homes and skilled care facilities will continue their restrictions.
And taking a look at how you're voting right now, 67% of you believe we need to hold off on phase 2 of reopening our state. 33% say phase 2 should start on Friday. Continue to vote on WFMY.com/vote now or the free app. We're going to check those results again coming up at 5.
Now, the Triad has come together in many different ways to support each other during this time, from food drives to t-shirt fundraisers, supporting local businesses. But the Greensboro Urban Ministry is still helping families in need. So every Tuesday through Friday, families can pick up groceries from 9:30 in the morning to 3:30 in the afternoon, but it is first come, first serve for Guilford County residents. Now, if you work during those hours, the Urban Ministry is offering after hours appointments. For financial assistance such as paying utilities, the ministry offers walk-in services on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 8:30 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Now, for rent or mortgage assistance, you also need to schedule an appointment. For any of these services, you will need a picture ID and social security cards for everyone in your household. You can also call the information hotline for more help.
Let's take a look now at your 4 to 5 roundup. We know many of you still have questions about your stimulus checks. Now the IRS says they'll take some of those questions over the phone. They added 3,500 workers to take phone calls about the checks, but they say you'll likely get an automated message, and most questions can be answered by going to irs.gov. Still, if you'd like to give them a call, you can dial 800-919-9835. And Canada and the United States will extend their agreement to keep the border closed to non-essential travel until June 21st. The original agreement was set to expire this week. Essential workers like healthcare professionals and truck drivers will still be allowed to cross the border. A new survey says many Americans won't get on a plane even after restrictions are lifted. Travel is a big headline these days. Meanwhile, airlines are changing tactics to keep airports and planes clean. Fewer check-in kiosks are now open, and plexiglass shields separate customers from employees at airports. Floors are also marked with social distancing reminders. United Airlines says they'll warn passengers if they are getting on a flight with 70% or more seats sold. And before passengers board, most airlines are cleaning seats row by row. Some airlines are even using disinfectants like electrostatic foggers. That's a mist that kills bacteria and viruses. Cabin air is disinfected using a hospital-grade HEPA filter. And passengers are also boarding flights back to front instead of by group number to really control traffic. Now, with all of that in mind, what will it take for you to feel safe flying again? I ask you on my Facebook page. Claire says less passengers and wearing masks, sanitizing the seats and the trays. Debbie Hill said more sanitation in between flights. There is no way they can unload a plane in 15 minutes and start loading the next flight. Joey Ship said, I will not fly on an airplane. I do not trust humans to maintain them. And Barbara said, beyond more flying with less passengers, I don't think there's anything that can make us feel completely safe. Betsy says she's flying in June and really not looking forward to it. All right, Taheshah and Eric, what do you think about this? What do you want airlines to do to make you feel safe when you fly?
So I can tell you firsthand that I am nervous about this, about getting on planes too quickly. Do I want to go? Yes. I'm dying for vacations and that type of thing. And I will probably be the first to go whenever I decide that I'm ready, but I'm not quite there yet.
I think for me, when it comes to wanting to fly in a plane, I mean, as long as they're trying to clean the plane in between, that's fine by me. I was always the type of person to carry wipes with me anyways, so I will continue to do that. And I wipe the handles, I wipe the seatbelt bar, use my hand sanitizer, wear my mask, and then I will fly to my destination.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that many airlines are saying they're trying to do the social distancing thing by limiting the capacity on the flights. But I read for them to make any money at all, the planes have to be at least 70% full. So it's this weird balance between having a business and making a profit and making it work and keeping people safe right now for everybody, especially airlines. All right, well, we want to hear from you on our Facebook page, WFMY News 2. Are you planning to fly anytime soon? What do you hope that flights and businesses can do to keep people safe? Use our hashtag 4 to 5 and we'll chat back.
The coronavirus has forced millions of Americans to hunker down in their homes and find ways to occupy their time. Now, in some cases, what's old is new again. More people are turning to jigsaw puzzles as a way to pass the time. And for one Triad company, that means all hands on deck.
The sights and sounds of booming business are music to Matt Everhart's ears.
Our online business has almost doubled, if not a little bit more than that, in the last 3 months, really.
Everhart and his mother run Heritage Puzzles in Winston-Salem.
The company was founded in 1997.
The puzzles are a mix of coastal sceneries, lighthouses, and mountains.
The most popular title we have is a puzzle called Coastal Sunrise. It's a 1,000-piece jigsaw puzzle. It accounts for probably 10% of our puzzle sales.
While some businesses have struggled during the COVID-19 pandemic, Everhart has trouble keeping his products in stock.
The supply chain is really the most difficult part for us.
He says there are only about 6 manufacturers nationwide that cut jigsaw puzzles on a large scale.
A bunch of those were shut down for 6-8 weeks during this time, and so there's a big backlog of puzzles that need to be filled.
And demand is high. On Monday, they shipped 200 individual orders through the post office.
On top of that, we packed another 50 cases, which is 12 puzzles in a case, to all of our retail shops that are just now starting to open back up.
Everhart says it makes sense why people are turning to puzzles.
It's a good opportunity to sit down, whether with family and friends or really just by yourself and turn off all the technology and really get in touch with something else.
And although he knows eventually people will be able to go out and about more freely, he hopes people's newfound love for puzzles continues after the pandemic.
I'm not naive to the fact that it might not stay this level forever, but I'm certainly going to try to help ensure that it does.
So, Maddie, cool story here. The company started around the same time that the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse was in talks of being moved. So his father, who was a part of the origins of the company, went around to people there as he was fishing in that area and to those mom and pop shops, Maddie, and he said, would you like a jigsaw puzzle of this lighthouse? Those stores said yes, they would like to sell them. It started from one lighthouse, went to all 7 in North Carolina. Now they have those jigsaw puzzles for lighthouses all the way up and down to East Coast, from Maine all the way down to Florida.
That's an incredible story, Taheshah. I guess I never thought about the people who actually make the jigsaw puzzles, and we have one right here in the Triad, and I've seen a lot of people on social media turning to puzzles during this time.
And, you know, those coastal ones are really popular right now because people can't get to the beach, but they could have a reminder, a photo of a vacation, you know, that they took a few years back. So it's a way to kind of, you know, live vicariously through this photo while still getting your mind off of, you know, the current state of affairs.
Yeah, and you had a shot of their website in that story, Taheshah. I saw a lot of sold outs over a lot of those puzzles.
Yeah, you have to click, but there's a few in stock. You may just have to refresh the page the next day.
Good for them. I love how things are coming back around too, right? Like, how long has it been since you've seen a family do a jigsaw puzzle together? Pretty cool stuff there. All right, more of the 4 to 5s coming up after this break, but remember, we chat with you during the breaks on our Facebook page, so head on over WFMY News 2 and we'll see you there.
So anyone who has lived in the Triad for a decent amount of time, you probably know about Possibilities, especially if you're in the Greensboro area. That restaurant has been around for decades, literally, and still has a huge following, even in the pandemic. I talked to owner Cindy Issa about what they're up to now. Take a look. Cindy, I know this is a tough time for restaurants all over, but you guys have been around a long time. How are things in your side of the industry?
Thank God we're doing okay. We have so many loyal regulars that have sustained us throughout. Catering has been something that's helped us maintain all of our staff. Well, we still are doing our entire menu. So guests can order anything on the menu. Our chef is still cranking out some great specials, lunch and dinner. So lunch, there's always salads and sandwiches. Food supply is getting a little harder and things are coming out of stock more frequently. So sometimes we feel like we're repeating things, but it's because there's just limited availability of product right now.
But it's kind of funny with restaurants that have been around as long as you have. Don't you feel like sometimes you say you're repeating things, but that's what people want is their regular stuff from Possibilities, right?
Exactly. When people call us on the phone, if they've ordered from us before, we can say, would you like what you had last time? Or they'll start reading off or saying what they want. And we're like, oh, that's exactly what you had last time. So it might be a 10-second phone call for them because we just said accept previous order and they're happy and we're happy to free up the line and hopefully get to the next. My mom still is baking all of our cakes. So she's been busy with people. It's strawberry season. So we're selling 2 and 3 strawberry cakes a day.
How old is your mom now? She's been with you guys forever.
You might get us all in trouble, but she's the spunkiest 89-year-old you'll ever know.
Cindy, we wish you guys the best of luck. Great food. Everybody should check out Possibilities. Thanks for talking to me today. So, by the way, Miss Issa has been helping out. Cindy's brother Ray owns Cafe Pasta. Both of those restaurants have been around forever. Miss Issa has been making great desserts for as long as I can remember, at least 20 to 30 years in this area. So you got to check them out. If you want to see their menu, we've linked you to their website in this story. Just look for it on WFNYnews2.com. Have you been to Pasta?
So actually, Eric, the first time I tried Possibilities was during this pandemic. I did a story with her at the start of this whole thing when we were saying, you know, support local business, get out, make sure you're visiting your locally owned restaurants. And she spoke to me, and that night I ordered a salmon salad. It was delicious, but the bread is the key.
Oh, yes. Yes, and their number one, Maddie, the number one thing there is their lasagna. They get more requests for that than anything else. And any of those desserts made by Miss Issa, I'm just telling you, you got to check it out.
I had Miss Issa's cheesecake at Cafe Pasta because Ray is a frequent guest on the Weekend Good Morning show, and I was still doing that show. So, oh goodness, that cheesecake is like nothing else, a completely different texture. I need to try the strawberry cake at Possibilities now. Didn't know they were connected.
Yes, it's out of the world. That whole family is excellent with food.
And why do you do this to us? Everybody complains about you on Facebook because you get us all hungry and we have to wait. And he always does this. All right, if you want to learn more, like Chilton said, go to our website. By the way, we are still chatting with you on our live stream on Facebook, so join us there.
So this post was making its way around social media today, and I love this. It asked that if you could only choose 2 of the smells on this list, what would they be? Here is the list. Fresh cut grass, I love that. Homemade bread, coffee, actually said strong coffee, line dried sheets, dark chocolate, garden dirt, campfire, brownies, baking, chlorine like a pool smell, baby snuggles like a baby right after a bath, apple pie, banana boat sunscreen, new books, fresh towels, leather boots, and right before it rains. So I asked everybody on Facebook, what are your favorites? The answers were kind of all over the place, but Glenda Smith Lloyd will lead us out today. She said cut grass and brownies baking, and then she said, what a combination. My favorite one is this one, Sharon Willis. I completely agree. She goes, wait, what? No bacon cooking? That's a great smell. Lisa Barker Freeman says apple pie baking and baby snuggles. Man, that's a good combo together. Heather Matthews said coffee and right before it rains. So the question is, what do you guys think about this? Because for me, bacon should have been on that list.
Okay, I'm going to have to go with any of the baked goods. So I think it was apple pie and brownies. Anything that I can eat, I like that smell. But you know what? They left off my absolute favorite smell is burning leaves. It's weird. Some people hate it. It's my favorite. I know, Taheshah's face says it all. What do you think?
You see my face. No burned leaves. No, no, no. What I will say though, coffee, I'm looking at this list again to refresh my memory. Coffee and fresh towels. I also love the idea of baby snuggles too. So if I could have 3, can I sneak a 3rd in there, Chilton? If I'm allowed, that's what I'm gonna pick.
Yes. Yes, I'm telling you, the baby snuggles thing, because that's like a baby right after a bath and they smell like the Johnson & Johnson. That's the best, top on my list.
We're breaking all kinds of rules. We do what we want here on the 4 to 5. Feel free to break the rules too. All right, Chilton.
Okay, let's get to it and talk about this. Temperatures right now outside in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Lower 60s in the extreme southern parts of the viewing area. So Troy and Montgomery County, probably Lee, Moore, and Chatham County seeing that as well. But for everybody else, low to mid 50s across the area. Now you couple that with this rain, and it's kind of a cold, rainy day. And unfortunately, guys, it will stay like this probably for the next day or 2 after today. You can see some heavier rains up in the mountain areas. Watauga County, Allegheny, and Ashe counties getting a lot of heavy rain right now. You can see that spinning low pressure on the left side of the screen there. That's funneling in all this moisture from the south. It's going to linger across our area, so much so that if you add up the next 7 days, the Weather Prediction Center, WPC we call it, is showing anywhere from 4 to 6 inches in the western parts of the viewing area to 2 to 4 across the Triad. Bottom line is we will see flooding from this. So everybody kind of hang tight, stay tuned to us on air and online over the next couple of days. We'll keep you posted about that as far as flooding potential and who could possibly see the worst of all of this. When you look at the futurecast, that low pressure is the culprit. And what does it do? Sits there. It drifts a little bit south and east. But overall, it hovers over us for a long period of time. That's why we don't see much change in our forecast in the short term. But we do in the long term. The weekend is great. So how about mid-50s for tomorrow? A 100% chance of rain. We're going to stick with that Wednesday and Thursday. Now, some of you may get heavier showers than the other, but still, you're going to see a 100% chance of showers. 75 for your temperature by Friday. We'll clear out. Your weekend's beautiful, partly cloudy, and low 80s.
Hello, ice cold milk and an Oreo cookie.
Good afternoon and welcome back to your 4 to 5. I'm Maddie Gardner here with Eric Tilton and Taheshah Moist. The crew is all here today. They are working from home. We are still practicing our social distancing and staying home when we can, but we are connected with each other and with you online. Use our hashtag 4 to 5. We are live right now on pretty much every social media platform, but we'll chat back with you if you use that hashtag. All right, we have to start by checking in with Eric because it's been a dreary day.
Yeah, kind of a mess. You know, we look at the temperatures and nothing's going to change very much between now and through the day tomorrow. 50 degrees will be our low tonight. Most of the temperatures right now are around 53 to 55, somewhere in that neck of the woods for the central parts of the viewing area. Southern Piedmont in the low 60s, but we'll drop to 50 by tomorrow morning. It is an on-again, off-again rain, heavy at times. Flooding can be expected in low-lying areas and flood-prone areas. 55, that's as warm as we get tomorrow. So look for more of this rain on the way. Let's move on. You take a look at the satellite radar. You can see the rain moving in from the southwest. A bigger picture here shows most of the rain just kind of hovering around. Notice that swirl, that counterclockwise rotation to the west of us. That's a low pressure center that will just kind of sit over us for the next few days. Here's what it does to us as far as rain is concerned. I mean, you're looking at a lot of that area based on that graphic, anywhere from 3 to 5, almost 6 inches of rain between now and Thursday night. We will see flooding from this. So everybody kind of hang tight. The weekend looks great, but it is a soggy work week with Friday being a transitional day until we get some sunshine back for the weekend.
Let's check in now with your 4 to 5 roundup. People who don't wear a face mask in Florida may be asked to leave a business. It's like no shoes, no service. A business can say no mask, no service, and refuse to allow a customer inside. Now, there's no mask law on the books there, but attorneys say asking someone to leave because they aren't wearing a mask does not violate the Americans with Disabilities Act. Uber is laying off 3,000 more employees and will close 45 offices around the world. Now, this move comes just days after the company fired 3,700 people in customer service and recruiting. The CEO says people staying at home means rides are down 80%. He said in an email that the decision to resize the company was tough. Lowe's Foods will now sell protective face masks made by Renfro Company based in Mount Airy. The Nightingale face masks will sell for just under $8 at the grocery store or $5 if you have a rewards card. The masks are washable and reusable, and they'll be sold at all Lowe's Food locations in North and South Carolina. And Walmart sales are up in both in-store and online. Online sales alone are up 74%, fueled by people buying canned goods, paper towels, and other essential items for staying at home. The Walmart's cost soared as well, up $900 million, all related to the pandemic. The stores spent nearly $800 million offering cash bonuses to all hourly workers. Pay was also increased $2 an hour at warehouses. Walmart also spent money on new protective measures in their stores and signs to control the flow of customers.
New research shows unemployment benefits are more helpful than paychecks for some workers. 68% of unemployed workers are getting more in their unemployment benefits than when they were working. That's thanks to the federal stimulus aid. Now, federal aid has bumped up unemployment benefits by an extra $600 per week. Those additional unemployment benefits are due to expire here at the end of July, though. President Trump's former chief economic advisor says anyone who can go back to work now should stop drawing unemployment.
And according to Fishbowl, a workplace social networking site, 51% of North Carolina workers are working more hours than they did before the pandemic. Nearly 800 people in our state completed that survey. Now, of that 51% who say they're working more, 18% say they're working up to 10 hours more than before. 24% of people said they're still working the same number of hours.
So working from home is obviously changing our morning routines. Many are bothering not to get ready at all. No makeup and beards are still in right now. So in North Carolina, up to 58% of women are no longer wearing makeup. 32% of men stop shaving completely. And now companies holding business meetings virtually also surveyed how many people bothered wearing pants during their meetings. Here we go. 94% of North Carolinians still wear their pants during meetings, except that one reporter who went viral. Do you remember that? Well, 74% of those people only wearing pajamas, sweatpants, or shorts, and 1% say they are still dressing professionally. Well, Maddie and Eric, you all know how I look at the Zoom meeting this morning. I have my turban on. I have no makeup on. I just throw on, I got to be honest with you, I throw on my News 2 jacket, but I still have my pajamas on under.
The tea has been spilled. I mean, y'all know how I look in the morning, too. Listen, I would do this newscast with my hair not fixed and my makeup not on if I could, but y'all don't want to see that. That's not cute. So no, but I do understand people who aren't going into the office. Makeup is expensive and they're probably saving a lot of money. Eric, you're not growing a beard, I see.
No, I just like that one line. If I could just edit that clip out of Taheshah just saying 94% of North Carolinians still wearing pants at work. That's what I want to see. I wear shorts. I do wear khaki shorts a lot of the time, as I am right now.
I wasn't going to ask, honestly, because we don't need to know what's going on. All right, let's change the subject and check in with 2 Wants to Know.
All right, so we're taking a look at this, right? You know what this is, don't you, Maddie? Mm-hmm. It is the stimulus payment, right? This is what we get the most questions about, the economic stimulus payment. And the most often, the question is what?
Oh, how about when am I getting that?
That is the number one, okay? And sometimes we have the answers, and then sometimes,
you might just want to call the IRS because it can be complicated.
It can be. Everybody's situation is a little bit different. Until now, you really couldn't get a hold of the IRS. Not us either. It wasn't possible, but check it out. There's now an 800 number that the IRS has set up to handle stimulus-related calls. You might want to take a screenshot of this. Now, let me tell you, this is an automated message line that will go over the most frequently asked questions. So we're talking about a limited service here. We're told that at the end of the automated message, you do have the option of talking to a human. But I got to tell you, when the line opened yesterday, the connection to a human still was not available. So I just give you the number with the knowledge of all the other things too. Okay, tickets and stimulus things may not be your issue. Maybe it's about helping to pay your rent. Maybe it's about phase 1 do's and don'ts. Maybe it's about should everybody be wearing a mask. The director of the 211 coronavirus hotline will be answering your text questions today. The number is 336-379-5775. We hope you will text in your questions.
And we want to take this time to honor all of the seniors since graduations have been affected by the coronavirus. That's why we do our senior shout outs. So let's take a look today at some of the graduates we are featuring. We'll start with Chase Fauci, a senior at Eastern Alamance High School. He was a member of the football team for all 4 years, and his family says he's been using this time to help neighbors and his family. Good job. Jordan Dawkins is a senior at Page High School. He is the team captain for the varsity football team. He's also a member of Team Voyage and the DECA Club. He plans to go to North Carolina A&T to study accounting. And Hunter Thompson is a senior at Ledford High School. She's a member of the Beta Club and the Tri-M Music Honor Society. She was on the track and field team for all 4 years and a member of the Ledford Panther Regiment Marching Band since 8th grade. She's the alto sax section leader. She was for the last 2 years, and she'll be going to Wingate University in the fall pursuing a PhD in occupational therapy. Congratulations to the class of 2020. Now, if you want to share your senior shout-outs with us, find this form on our website. You can send us your photos, but please no professional photos with this. Also include your senior's name and their school and a personal message with your shout-out.
Hey, nothing says congratulations like a free box of donuts, right? Well, at Krispy Kreme, you can actually get a free dozen donuts for your seniors today. This is available for 2020 Graduates Dozen. That's what it's called. It's available this week only. Seniors can get a free dozen by wearing their cap and gown or by showing anything that has the class year on it. And you cannot get the free dozen online. You do have to go there in person to get it. More of the 4 to 5 will continue right after this break.
Hello, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
You know, Zito Wine Shop in downtown Greensboro has been around for more than a decade. And of course, things changed after mid-March like they did everywhere. But this shop has adapted in some ways, but in other ways, they never had to. Take a look.
Penny and Sue, thanks for taking time out today. Hey, let's talk about what you guys are doing, because look, you're still open for business and people can come up and get what they need at your store.
Yes, they can. They can come up, they can come in if they have their mask on, and they can also call us and have curbside service, or we deliver in Greensboro within the city limits. No, it's just making it easier for people and fun. And we get emails and they'll say, oh, we'll be by curbside. Just have it ready for us. Here's the credit card. And that's the way we handle it.
When things loosen up a little bit, I got to know, and you got to explain if the wine wall will still be available, and tell people what that is in case they don't know.
Yeah, so the wine wall is an automatic wine dispensing system where you can come in, you get a little card, like a credit card, loaded up with money, and you can serve yourself an ounce, 2.5 ounces, or a whole glass of wine. This is something that we've had for over 10 years, this machine, and it's just a lot of fun to come in or gather around on the patio or in the store.
So we get hints that things might be lightening up a little bit in the next few weeks. Hopefully, fingers crossed, that people can kind of venture back in. Do you guys miss your customers face to face?
Of course. That's a big part of what Zito is, you know, we do know all of our customers personally. You know, we know their families, they know our families.
But during this time, Eric, we've also had the opportunity to meet some very nice new customers, and we try to get into each and every one of them the best service we can.
Thank you guys for being with us today. Best of luck. It sounds like you guys are doing great work out there. Keep it up.
You know, the thing that makes this place special, though, Maddie, is really the fact that they have a heart. I mean, this is a business with a heart that loves their customers on a personal level, not just on professional. And that's kind of what I think the Triad is all about, that we don't want to be in New York City, and we're not a small area either. We're kind of that happy middle ground. This place is really cool. You need to go check it out. When they do reopen, that wine wall is incredible.
Speaking my language here, you know what I love about all of this and the delivery aspect of it, back in the day, delivery for me was a luxury. It was something that I only did every now and then. It seemed very indulgent, you know, to have someone else bring me the items I need. Now that it's a necessity, I don't see it going back, Eric. I think people will still continue to order delivery items and groceries and wine and food and things like that.
I think you're exactly right. And they've been doing this since before the pandemic. So they told us, they said that this doesn't change our business model at all, because we've been doing it all along. So you got to check them out if you haven't. Let's get to a forecast quickly, because I know everybody's wondering about this rain, and it will continue, and it will be heavy at times. This is an on again, off again, showery activity tonight, all day tomorrow, maybe even into Thursday morning, at least first half of the day there. But 50 to 55 degrees, that's a low and a high. We will change only by 5 degrees the whole day tomorrow. Rain could be heavy at times, and yes, we could see flooding. You can see most of the heavier rain is in the western Piedmont for now, but that will change as we head throughout the next 24. Now, you look at that low pressure, and normally in our patterns, that would be moving north and east. We wouldn't have to worry about it, or maybe just east, but that's not the case. When you look at this rain forecast, this is one computer model's outlook, but one that we put a good bit of stock into, and you're looking at an additional maybe 3 to 5 inches of, I mean, the totals could go up to 6 inches maybe by Thursday night. That would be the maximum. Let's hope it's on the minimum side of that, 3 to 6. But regardless, we will see heavier rains. Now, 7-day forecast showing 100% chance of rain of some type. You may get light rain or heavy or both, but we'll see that Wednesday and Thursday. We're up to 62 by Thursday, 75 on Friday. Rain chances come down a little bit, but still a 60% chance. Your weekend, there's your payoff. In fact, this holiday weekend, if you have that Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you're looking at low 80s and partly cloudy Saturday, Sunday, 78, beautiful, no rain chance. That's for Monday and Tuesday of next week.
As many states move to reopen economies, restaurants and businesses are now worrying about how to socially distance their customers. Well, one bar in Ocean City, Maryland is having fun with their reopening and social distancing. We're going to file this on, yes, this is actually a thing. Fishtails has bumper tables. Take a look. The tables are designed by the Revolution Event Design and Production Company, and the tables are basically intertubes on wheels with the customer in the middle and a little platform for you to maybe put your food or your drink. Now, you can rent or purchase the tables. Their rentals are $150 and purchases cost up to $500. That's a lot of money. I'm gonna count me out on that one. I know it's probably just a novelty thing, but I'd rather just wait until I can actually talk to people like a normal like a normal thing.
Yeah, a smart business move though, because they're in Maryland and we're talking about it in Greensboro, North Carolina, so they're getting attention for it.
Yeah, they are, and they're making money. I mean, you saw those people in the video. They paid the money.
I've also seen restaurants that are passing out hats with pool noodles on the end so you can't get close to other people. It's like another novelty to attract customers.
I'll watch from afar.
I'll continue eating my takeout on my couch, and then we'll go back to the restaurants. And hey, you might see me in a pool noodle hat. I never say never.
Please take a selfie of that, Maddie. We would all like to see the pool noodle hat. Well, coming up on WFMY News 2 at 5 o'clock, North Carolina could move into phase 2 of reopening Friday afternoon. That's could. Phase 2 includes restaurant dining rooms, hair salons, and gyms, and more. We're digging into how those businesses are getting ready while also meeting all the safety and social distancing guidelines. That's next on WFMY News 2 at 5.
So gyms right now in Hong Kong are reopened again, but they are under some new restrictions. According to a Bloomberg report, the biggest change that you'll see in those gyms is that some equipment is separated by a glass partition. Some other changes include disinfecting phones with UV light. Gym goers have to sign a health declaration letting the gym know they are not experiencing any symptoms. They also have to go through a health screening before entering the gym. Each gym goer will have to disinfect the equipment, and they cannot use water fountains. That would be tough after a workout. Well, back here in the Triad, gyms could open as early as Friday if Governor Roy Cooper says we can enter phase 2 of his reopening plan for the state. So I wanted to know, if we were to open on Friday, would you be attending the gym? That's what I asked you all on my Facebook page today. So let's get into some of the comments. It was pretty split right down the middle. Paula writes here, we'll definitely be going 100%. If anybody is not ready to leave their house, they are welcome to stay home and let the rest of us get back to life. Well, Ken Woods writes, I'll go wearing gloves and long sleeves, but would turn away if there wasn't some type of screening at the door. Elizabeth, on the opposite side of this argument, she writes here, I won't go because of my underlying conditions. I will do Zumba in my house and walk across the street in the park. Sharon writes, too soon, no way would I go to the gym. Now, Maddie, I got to be honest with you. I've been itching to go to the gym. If there was a way, you know, I know it's kind of harder at some of the box gyms, but maybe those boutique gyms, if they could separate people, everyone has their own equipment that you use for that entire class, I would be more apt to do something like that.
I think gyms especially are going to have to rethink things when they reopen, Taheshah. You saw the video of the gyms in Hong Kong and how they've partitioned off each piece of equipment. You know, it seems extreme, but you do have to have that separation, that social distancing. So maybe at that limited capacity, I'd feel better about it. I do hope, however, that these gyms continue to offer virtual classes for people who aren't quite so ready to leave their homes yet.
I think if they want to stay relevant right now, you know, at least for the next few months, they are going to have to do something like that.
And we'll, of course, keep you updated on what phase 2 looks like and when we could start seeing those restrictions ease, coming up at 5. We'll be right back.
Hello, mic check 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8.
Hello, the weather is bad.